Your Excellencies, Madam First Ladies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, representatives of civil society, the global collaborative, survivors of child abuse, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. As a leader of the compassionate but resolute people of Sierra Leone, please allow me to convey how deeply we are moved by the support of the member states of the United Nations and the entire international community for the resolution to establish a zero-tolerance policy against child sexual abuse with the declaration of 18 November Award Day for the prevention of and healing from child sexual exploitation, abuse, and violence, which Sierra Leone and the Federal Republic of Nigeria acted as primary sponsors. Child sexual violence is preventable. In the past 2 years, my government has implemented many reforms to protect children, especially girls, from rape, sexual abuse, exploitation, trafficking, and child marriage. We have implemented policies to break down gender barriers by increasing girls' enrollment in school and providing free primary and secondary education to all children in Sierra Leone. We have implemented laws making the rape of a child a crime punishable up to life in prison. We are turning the tide against sexual abuse in Sierra Leone. Through education and community engagements, individuals are empowered with the knowledge and tools to recognize signs of abuse, intervene when necessary, and create a culture of vigilance, and protection. By implementing comprehensive education, awareness, and intervention strategies, societies can create environments that prioritize the safety and well-being of children. By addressing root causes and fostering open conversations, we can collectively work towards a future where every child is safe from harm and exploitation. By the powerful testimonies that we are going to hear today, I hope the technology does not disappoint us. You will agree with me that the World Day has provided a unique platform to empower and elevate the voices of all persons who the tragedy of child sexual violence has impacted. It has enhanced the self-worth of victims and survivors by acknowledging their suffering and in providing them with opportunities to restore their dignity. Preventing child sexual abuse requires global commitment, collaboration, and the shared determination to share the safety and dignity of our children, youth, and young people. The 18th November Award Day provides such a platform. When we come together, we can help to heal individuals, families, communities, and institutions impacted by this tragic human condition. We can foster a world in which all children can flourish. I, Madam First Lady, the government, and people of Sierra Leone believe in this mission with all our hearts. We hope all nations will join us in working together to stop these tragic attacks against the innocent and help victims to restore their lives. On that note, I thank you for the honor and due recognition of the vital work done so far, which reminds us still of the work ahead of us all. Thank you.
When you watch a video like that, you just want to go somewhere and try. Your Excellency, Dr. Julius Maada, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Your Excellency, Madam Monica Bengos, my dear sister, First Lady of the Republic of Namibia, and the First Lady of Turkey, who had to go because this is the UN week. We are all running up helter-skelter to be in different places. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, representative of the civil society, the global collaborative, and I think I should single out here Madam Jennifer Waldman, who is the chairperson, survivors of child abuse, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me also pay homage to all the ministers and parliamentarians and dignitaries from Sierra Leone who are here present. Today, we have heard about the apparent violence against children, which has become a true humanitarian crisis. Shockingly, over half of the global population of children, totaling 1 billion children aged 2 to 70 years, experience violence each year. Among them, 15 million adolescent girls aged 15 to 19 have endured forced sexual abuse. Child sexual exploitation, abuse, and violence are among the most severe violations of human dignity, robbing a child of their innocence and hindering their inherent potentials. The disruption caused by the COVID-19 pandemic and the effect of climate change-induced migration contribute significantly to the continuous occurrences of child sexual exploitation and violence, both online and within communities. Consequently, this form of violence destroys lives, impose billions of dollars worth of losses on nations in terms of GDP and social well-being. Bearing all this in mind, my humble self, with the support of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone and the survivors of the Global Collaborative, made an impassionate plea to the world leaders 2 years ago. We launched an international campaign to raise awareness about another global pandemic, because child sexual abuse is a global pandemic. Child sexual violence and the detrimental impact it has on the health and well-being of survivors who have suffered from these tragedies. Today, standing before this esteemed assembly, I can confirm that the leaders of the world have heard our pleas. His Excellency Dr. Julius Maada, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, heard our plea. The leadership of the Federal Republic of Nigeria had our plea. It will be recorded in the history book that on November 7, 2022, the United Nations General Assembly took a bold step and enormously adopted a resolution declaring November 18 as the World Day for the prevention of and healing from child sexual exploitation, abuse, and violence all over the world. This landmark resolution, co-facilitated by Nigeria and Sierra Leone, received unprecedented support from the United Nations. I would like to take this opportunity to express profound appreciation to all member states of the United Nations for hearing the plea of the courageous campaigners and taking action for the survivors. The survivors themselves have expressed their desire to thank the dedicated 180 member states that co-sponsored the resolution on that day. Sierra Leone would like to acknowledge His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is now the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for stepping in and supporting this cause, as well as the ongoing engagement of the permanent mission of Nigeria on this important issue. We commend this remarkable collaboration by Nigeria. As we celebrate the bold action taken by the United Nations General Assembly, on behalf of His Excellency President Bio, the delegation of Sierra Leone, myself, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to all those who collaborated and supported us in achieving this historic milestone. First and foremost, I would like to acknowledge the Council of Europe for developing the Lanzarote Convention and for their continuous efforts to protect children worldwide. I extend my thanks to Her Excellency Najat Mala, Special Representative of the Secretary General on Violence Against Children, for her collaboration and support of our initiative. I also express gratitude to Colonius Williams, former Global Director of the Child Protection Program Group, and his staff for providing technical support, data, and guidance throughout the entire process while we were trying to get the United Nations to adopt this resolution. I would also like to thank His Excellency Archbishop Cassia, Permanent Observer of the Holy See, and his office for their selfless support and collaboration. Our heartfelt appreciation goes out to the international community and prominent governing bodies for this unwavering commitment and dedication to formulating policies and legislation aimed at ensuring the well-being of children and aiding survivors on their path to healing and restoration. I want to express deep gratitude to the brave survivors of the global collaborative. The exceptional courage and unwavering spirit have sparked a worldwide movement serving as a beacon of inspiration for all of us. Their unyielding commitment stands as a testament to the strength of the human spirit and its ability to transform adversity into positive change. And the reason why we're here today is to ask the United Nations to not only give us November 18th as a day, but make sure member states honor that day and allow rape victims to do what it pleases on that day. If they choose to go to church, let us celebrate them in churches. If they choose to go to the mosque, let us go and pray with them in mosque. If they choose to just congregate and scream, let us let them scream, because that way we know we are there with them. If I'm standing here this afternoon, I want to single out a woman, Jennifer. I want to say thank you. Thank you. We have a proverb in Africa that says, don't wash your dirty linen where people will see it. Keep your dirty linen indoors. But with rape, we will not understand unless we feel a victim. We go to court and we help them get justice. At the end of the day, after justice, they still will be on their own. In that lonely time, that is when they ask themselves, am I truly here? So November 18th is the day given to the world by the United Nations to allow rape victims. We don't want to have rape victims. We want to make sure there is no rape victim in the world. And with the changes that His Excellency President Bio has actually done in Sierra Leone, I believe we are on that journey. And those changes are going to be the narrative that Sierra Leone will remember him for. Our GDP, everything else will be super great, but I know the women of Sierra Leone will remember President Bio for being the man who has given us hope, who has given us the strength, and who has given us voices. So I want to also thank you. You know, when you have a husband, sometimes you take them for granted. But it's not every day that you have a man who is willing to speak up for women. Well, just a man, but imagine when that man is now the president of a nation. His Excellency has been a voice for us women. Through him, he channeled his spirit for me to speak up. Through him, I understand and learn, and I know the things that he wants me to say to the people. And I want to say thank you, Mr. President, because you inspire us every day, and that inspiration is the reason why we are pushing to help change the world. And I want to say, if I continue talking about Monica and I, you know how it's going to look like. But my sister, we are in this together. You have always said to me, focus on your job. And I promise you, I am focusing on my job. And I want to say thank you for not only being a fantastic president of the African Assembly, but for supporting everything that I do. And this is from the bottom of my heart. For the Sierra Leone mission, it has been a long journey. And we're here. But I'm crazy because, you know, like Robin Hood, when they give, we ask for more. I want to challenge all the survivors. We have a resolution. It has been passed at the United Nations. And I think we can push this and ask for convention. And I want to challenge you, Jennifer, because I know you don't only have the Vatican, we have Islamic relief. And like I said to you, my husband is a Catholic Christian, and I am a fervent Muslim. That combination is so powerful that we can make so many differences. Convention is what we should be looking for. If torture is a treaty, if genocide is a treaty and a convention, I think sexual violence should also be classed as one of those things. Because that is when a woman's dignity or a man's dignity is taken away from them and they try to heal. Sometimes they do, sometimes they never. And I want to now challenge you and say, we have the most unusual backers, the Islamic relief and the Vatican. We can go for a convention. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, allow me to express my gratitude to each and every one of you for joining us here today and for your undivided attention. Thank you very much.
Honor the day, acknowledge the work that has been done, build the legacy, lest we forget. And in doing more, you've asked for accountability, and the ask this afternoon is for convention. And I'm sure the congregation has asked. But also you said that this important work has unusual backers. Indeed, partnership is important. They are the United Nations, but also to carry on this important work. And so, I'll proceed to our next
item on the agenda, which is to hear from the important partners, the unusual partners, that provided the necessary cooperation and collaboration for us to have the resolution and hopefully to take this forward to engender